Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll present you with a build and team guide for Lucia. She's a support eater character that primarily supports Rapture based teams, so if you're looking to strengthen your Rapture teams, she's the character to go for. We'll begin first with her skill priority, and actually her skill priority is quite interesting because you effectively have to kind of like level up everything, I guess, besides the dodge. You can skip the dodge, but why is that? Because Lucia has aftershocks within her kit, off-field attacks effectively, and she will randomly pick between one of her 3 ethereals to summon, and all of them do the same type amount of damage. However, they have different damage types that scale off different skill levels, meaning that you have to level effectively basic attack, special skill, and assist skill all equally just to get all of these damage increased. And of course you still want to have her ultimate chain attack leveled up as well, so effectively you end up having to level everything besides dodge. So that's that. If you're thinking of topping up for Lucia and saving money in the process, look no further than Loot Bar GG. In the Zenless Zone Zero category you can have up to 25% discount. Not only do they have exclusive limited time sales as well as guaranteed bundles, and if you were to click on my exclusive link down below, new users will also be able to save an extra 10% of their entire purchase. All purchases go through the official game, which means you'll still be able to get your double top-up bonus for the first time. Loot Bar GG is rated excellent with over 26,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot. All you have to do is to enter your UID and region with the bundle you want to purchase, and within minutes it should arrive in your account. Check out my link in the comments below and save with Loot Bar GG today. Now let's go over her main stats, but before that I'd also like to let you know that a lot of you guys who watch me are not subscribed. If you'd like to support this small channel, feel free to subscribe. It's completely free of charge. So now let's finally talk about her main stats. Lucia is very easy to build. Effectively drive disc 6, 5 and 4. It's all HP percentage. You want a lot of HP in Lucia because she has ability that will increase sheer force for her entire team depending on the amount of HP she has. You will need 24k HP if you want to max out this buff. However, even if you don't get to fully max this buff, it's still gonna be very powerful and strong. However, do note that Drive this 6 can also be energy regen. This can depending on your W engine, because if your W engine does not have energy regen, you might have to run it here, just as a heads up. But a lot of W engines do have energy regen, so it should not be a problem. As for set bonuses, the drive disc option 4-piece is pretty much Moonlight Lullaby. It provides energy regen, but more importantly, it provides a powerful damage increase for your entire team by 18% for 25 seconds. This is pretty much the go-to support set for Lucia. There's nothing really else that's good as this one. You can of course already farm this one. As for double piece set options, it's going to be Yonko Tales, which increases your HP by 10%. However, if you do need energy regeneration, you can also use Swing Jazz double piece, but generally the optimal way is to go Moonlight Lullaby with double Yunko Tales to maximize that HP. Now let's go over her W engine options. We'll begin first with her signature W engine. It provides 30% HP increase with her advanced stat. As for the passive, it increases your energy regen by 0.4 per second. This is very important part because the advanced stat itself does not have energy, and you'll have it from the passive. Also, whenever she activates her Ether Veil or extend its duration, which she can do with her kit, you'll increase your entire team damage by 25% and also increase their max HP by 15% for 45 seconds. This is a very lengthy duration. You'll have this up at all times. This W engine is pretty good, but fortunately Lucia does have alternative options, so you don't have to feel forced to go for this W engine accumulation whatsoever. So let's talk about her other S-rank options, such as Whipping Cradle. Whipping Cradle advanced stat is basically whatever. However, it does have energy regen within the passive, and it can also provide extra damage boost for your entire team. That's pretty much the usefulness of Whipping Cradle. However, we do also have, of course, A-rank options. We'll begin first with the Game Ball. This is the Battle Pass option. It is not free. It does cost $10 just a heads up. However, it does have energy regen, and it also provides a nice critical rate boost for your entire team. However, you do have to match the element, which generally you will be able to do so, and it's a pretty decent, nice critical rate buff for your entire team. Then we have another option as well that is more free-to-play friendly, Kaboom the Cannon. This one has also advanced stat of energy regen. However, do know that the tag buff itself is of course less effective than usual. You can still get the attack, I guess, but it's not as useful. But it's basically an option that most of us will probably get to use if you have nothing else. Now let's talk about team options for Lucia. She's pretty much the Astra Yao for Rapture units. So if you want to enhance your Rapture-based teams, this is the character you'll go for. I would say the new player-friendly team option that you can go with Lucia is of course going to be with Komano Manato, which he will also be on her banner. And then you play it alongside with Pani Hu or something like Pulchra. This should work fine for newer players who have no other options and who started on Lucia banner. However, regarding premium teams, you can say it can be to some extent quite limited, because right now it's pretty much going to be Idhari or Yixuan that you would play with your Lucia, along with a stunner like Jufufu. Of course, Jufufu can be replaced with other stunners. However, do know that Lighter will not work because he will not have his additional ability active, because he requires Sons of Calydon teammate or an attack unit, and obviously you won't have this type of configuration in a Rapture-based team with Lucia and another Rapture unit. I'd also like to have a quick segment regarding Mindscapes. I generally don't promote Mindscapes, but if you're interested between, let's say, her M1 and Signature, as of right now, her M1 seems to be much better than her Signature. M1 effectively provides all-type res by 18% down for your entire team, so your entire team will do more damage. Also, you have a 5% increased decibel generation for your entire team. This one is very powerful. However, do know that it costs more money than going for the Signature. As for the rest of the Mindscapes, feel free to pause the screen or read it in more detail if you're interested, but I generally don't recommend going for more than her M1. If you really want to get the most out of her, it would be effectively M1 P1, that's the Signature, at most, if you truly want to get like the most out of her. Past that point, I truly don't recommend it, but if you want to go for it, I mean, who am I to stop you? Smile. And lastly, let's have our good old Bangboos options. This time, unfortunately, there is no new Bangboos to use, so we'll have to choose among the older options. Effectively, Bellion is an amazing choice if you do play it with Yixuan or Jufufu. Do know that if you have 3 copies of Bellion, you do reduce the requirement of teammates of Yunkai Summit needed to be within the team. So if you have Bellion at 3 copies, a Jufufu alone will activate this additional ability, or Yixuan depending on the team. So this one is pretty good to go. However, if you don't have Bellion available, you could always use something like Overtime Boom or even the new Excalibur. Both of these Bangboos have a significantly decent days accumulation on enemies, so you can kind of stun enemies faster. So effectively, Overtime Boom, Excalibur Boom are the way to go if you don't have Bellion. Of course, there's also an option of good old Snap. This one will provide a nice damage boost for your agents. However, do know that Snap does not contribute with any days accumulation whatsoever. So these are pretty much the Bangboos options for Lucia teams. So this is pretty much it for this guide. If you have any questions or would like to add anything yourself, feel free to write it within the comments down below. I wish you a wonderful day, guys, and see you in the next video. Ciao!